So be prepared to shell out each time you go to the petrol pump again. But moving on to a developing story, and that happens to be telecom, with the battle for spectrum getting murkier by the day. Sunil Mittal fired a new salvo today, triggering a bidding war perhaps, because he insists on paying more for startup GSM spectrum. Sunil Mittal is ready to hike the stakes in the battle for spectrum, and this time he is willing to put the money where his mouth is. Mittal wants to slow down, if not altogether halt, Anil Ambani's sprint in the GSM market. In a letter to the DOT Secretary, Akhil Gupta, Airtel's joint managing director, has offered to pay 2,650 crore rupees for an all-India GSM startup spectrum, which is almost 1,000 crore rupees over and above what Reliance Communication has paid. But that's not all. The letter clearly states, and I quote, "While we will continue to agitate, represent and follow up our legitimate legal options for a rightful entitlement of spectrum, we are compelled to seek additional 4.4 megahertz or any such startup spectrum decided by the department. Considering the urgency of the matter for attaining network quality, we herewith offer a sum of 2,650 crore rupees, which is approximately 1,000 crore rupees over and above the current charges of a pan-India startup spectrum of 1,650 crores. Our offer of 2,650 crores will please be treated as our initial bid for this pan-India spectrum." It is the initial bid offer that may start a bidding war. After all, Anil Ambani and other operators might have to match, if not increase, the offer. Little wonder then, Reliance retorted by calling Bharti's letter another attempt to confuse issues. The statement says, and I quote, "Bharti is not entitled to a second GSM license in any condition. It is another ploy to prevent competition, another anti-consumer, anti-competitive behavior on part of Bharti to confuse issues further." But interestingly, this puts the Department of Telecom in the dock, which will now have to give spectrum to the highest bidder, with both industry lobbies willing to go in for an auction. But the battle for airwaves has got a rather dormant player like Tata Teleservices excited, and it is now this CDMA operator's turn to take up the fight. Tata Teleservices has filed a petition against the DOT in TDSAT, challenging not just the DOT's 2:1 spectrum allocation for CDMA operators, but also challenging the GSM operators for spectrum in excess of 6.2 megahertz. But here at the Department of Telecom, highly placed sources have told NDTV that the final report of the review committee might be a compromise between the TEC recommendations and what TRAI had initially recommended. And this may keep everybody happy. But for now, the battle will move to the court at TDSAT, where the next hearing is scheduled for the 12th of December. In New Delhi, with Orijit Banerjee, Supriya Srinath for NDTV.